Welcome back to Southern Extreme TV, guys. You got your host Blake Myers here. We're going to do we're going to be doing another product review today. This is going to be for the ATN THOR HD thermal rifle scope. It's going to be the 640 hertz model that they have, and the magnification power on this is going to be a 1.5 by 15. So that way you guys can go on to ATN's website and reference all that stuff and look up exactly which model this is. Just to kind of get started with it, I've had this product now for almost a year. It'll be a year in November. Well, it's August, basically September right now. So I've had a pretty decent amount of time to play with this thing and you know, use it and shoot with it and really put it to the test. I used it all this past predator season, and I mean, just first of all, I've got to say it's absolutely the best purchase that I've ever made. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that this thing was cheap, because it wasn't. Anybody that's looking to buy something that's quality made and has a quality product, and then something that's going to be a thermal type item, you're going to pay some money for. When I first started out and started looking into buying a thermal, I didn't plan on spending as much as I did on this specific scope. When I first started looking into them, I was wanting to spend anywhere in the $1,000 to maybe $1,500 range. High end is what I was looking at. But the more I looked at it and the more I started saving, the more I kept saving, the more reviews I read on the differences between the different hertz that you have, which the easiest way for me to explain what the differences between the hertz that these scopes come in is, it's like watching a HD TV without an HDMI cable versus one with an HDMI cable. So your lower hertz, you're still going to get a good picture, but it's just not going to be as crystal clear or as sharp as what you want it to be. Now, obviously, the weather conditions with the thermal scope plays a tremendous amount on the quality of the image that you get in this. And I'm going to be cutting in some scenes here towards the end of the video that I've actually took with the scope of me shooting some coyotes this past predator season. And you're going to be able to see the difference between different nights and different conditions and how it's going to affect the scope versus what you see through the scope. So like I said, this is going to be the 640 hertz, so this is the strongest hertz that ATN makes. Now, I'm sure they're getting ready to come out with some new models before too much longer, and they may get a little bit better. Usually technology like this always does improve and all does get better. One of the coolest features that it has is it has an internal video camera. So basically, you've got a button on the right side, and I'll cut in the main surface button where all the buttons are at. But you've got an enter, which is the center of all the buttons. The arrow to the right of it, it's how you scroll through your menu options once you're in there, but it's also how you start and stop recording if you want. So what it'll do is you can actually record anything that you see in this scope. It'll record it. A cool thing that this has is it has the ability to register recoil from a gun or compression from a gun whenever you shoot, and this scope will automatically remember what it's seen. Don't hold me to it, it's either 10 or 15 seconds before you made the shot, and then it'll automatically start recording at that point, so you get leading up to your shot, and then it'll continue to record until you tell it to stop recording after you make that shot. The next coolest feature that I think that this thing is going to have is it has the ability to be sighted in on multiple rifles and to be able to recalibrate to that specific rifle once you place it back on that rifle. And just to give you an example of what I'm talking about there, I've got this thing sighted in for three guns right now. I've got an uncle, he's got an AR, I've got it sighted in for that AR. And basically you go and you create a profile, and you can list down what grain bullet you're shooting and all these different functionalities on it. But basically once you go through the profile, it'll have my uncle's AR. I can select that profile, and the crosshairs on the inside of this will automatically recalibrate for how that gun shoots. I've got a 22 bolt action that I have zeroed in on this as well. All I do is I take the scope off of whatever AR that it's on, and I place it onto that 22. I go into my settings and I scroll through the profile, and I select Blake's 22 bolt action. Again, it'll recalibrate to that gun, and you're dead on zero. And I was a little skeptical of this feature at first, just because I'm not a big fan of stuff moving around on the inside and then guaranteeing me that it's at a 0 whenever I go to pull that trigger. And I'm here to tell you, I've tested it on all 3 of these guns, taking it off and shooting it multiple times. Every time, if you say that it's on a gun and that scope is on that gun, it is going to be zeroed. That reticle goes back to the same spot every single time. Let's get into the battery pack a little bit, just for the simple fact that that's a big component for me for what this is. If you're going out and you're going to be running this thing for several hours, I would say if you're going to be running it for longer than an hour on any given night, you just need to go ahead and you need to invest in the power pack that ATN offers. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let you know that this is not a battery pack that ATN makes. This is a third-party battery pack that you're purchasing from them. However, what you are going to be getting from ATN is this cord here. You are going to be getting that cord. You're going to be getting the connector in that's going to fit to your scope, and then you'll get the just connector in that goes into the battery pack, which is just a standard USB port. Now, the pack itself is actually made from a company called MI. It's MI, and you can actually go to their website. It's called mi.com, and they sell different kinds of battery packs. This is going to be a 3.6 volt 16,000 mAh, so it's a pretty large battery pack. Now, I would say 24 to 33 hours, continuous hours of runtime on this battery. Obviously, different conditions are going to affect that with this battery pack that you purchase from ATN, and I don't have it pictured. That's my fault. It actually comes with a basically a holder that you put on the stock of your rifle, and basically all it is just kind of a black Velcro thing that you fit to customize the size of the stock, and then it has a little zipper, and this will slide into that zipper, and then you have this that'll mount on your scope. And usually I run this around this way because I've got my AR, and you know, it's gonna be shooting my shells out to the side. I don't want that cord over here in the action, so I wrap it around, put it down in the zipper, and then you've got your gun ready to go, and then you've got enough, you know, stretch if you want to adjust your stock, if you have an adjustable stock on your AR or rifle, whatever it is that you're shooting. On top of the fact that you can use this to charge other things like your phone, flashlights, anything that you have that needs to be charged while you're out in the woods. With the ATN scope, you've got the quick release Picatinny rail mount. So I mean, everything's gonna be mil spec. I haven't had any problems with it coming off of the gun or moving around or sliding around, anything like that. I will say though, you need to go ahead and just make sure that it's really, really tight. Obviously, with something that's a quick release with this style, especially something that's going to weigh a little bit like this does, probably close to 2, maybe 3 pounds, you're going to want to make sure that that thing's good and tight, just so that you have a good, smooth, and crisp connection to your rifle. Just because you're moving it in and out of the field, and you know you're walking a lot, you don't want this thing to be jarring back and forth. Your focus ring is going to be on the front, and it's going to work just like a video camera is. So if you run any type of video camera where you have a manual focus on the front of the video camera, it's going to be the same type thing here. Now, this isn't something that you're going to have to sit here and you're going to be, you know, that you're going to have to toy with the entire time you're in the woods. Typically what I do is as soon as I get out of the truck, I go ahead and turn my scope on, and I go ahead and you know, get everything set up for the conditions for that set. If I'm going to be hunting a field that's 100 to 200 yards across, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look 100 to 200 yards away, and I'm going to go and get that focused in to where I can see everything I need to see. As far as the back goes, you are going to have an adjustment back here. Now, what this is going to do is whenever you're looking into the scope, it's going to look like a TV screen. And basically what this will do is it'll bring the TV screen in closer or farther away. So you have that ability to bring that TV, the screen on the inside, it'll bring it in and out to get it into focus. That way you can read the writing that's on the inside, and you can make your image clarity a lot better. As far as the reticles go on the inside of the scope, a bunch of different reticles that you can choose from, different styles. You have your traditional crosshair, you've got a regular dot, you've got your crosshairs with a dot in it, you've got your 3 bars with a dot, which is what I use. You have it's basically 2 horizontal bars, and then you have a vertical bar, then you have a dot that's kind of in the middle of all them, and you don't have anything up top. Another cool thing is you have the ability to adjust the different color of the reticle. So you have that ability to, you know, change from red to blue to yellow to green to black to white, whatever it is that's going to help you, you know, pick up your target, pick up your sight, and make an effective kill shot in a timely fashion. So you have an app on your phone that is designed by ATN specifically for their HD smart scopes, basically. And basically what it does is it gives you the ability to sync up to this thing via Wi-Fi, because this thing does put out a Wi-Fi signal, and you connect your phone to it just like you would a regular Wi-Fi system in your house or at a hotel, anything like that. And what it'll actually give you the ability to do is control every aspect of the scope from your phone. So what I like about that is if I'm taking somebody who is not as tech savvy, I can do everything on my phone. So I'm sitting here and I'm making the call, and I can see what he sees on my on my phone. So I can see him moving around. If I see something, if we see a coyote or something, I can manually zoom in for him so that way he can get onto it. I can even change the reticle color, the reticle shape. I can start recording, stop recording. I can take a photo. If you're gonna buy one of these scopes and you're gonna be using one of these scopes for hunting, what I recommend doing is not getting a higher power scope. And when I'm talking about a high power, I'm not talking about getting something that goes out to like 20 or 30 power, because if you need to shoot that type of distance, if you're shooting 400, 500 yards with this type of thing, then you may want to get something that's going to go out to 20 or 30 power. What I'm talking about is your low range magnification on this. You want it to be at a 1 power or a 1.5 power. Once you start getting up to a 3 power, and that's the lowest that it's going to go, your field of view narrows a whole lot. And where you're gonna really wear yourself out at with that is if you're sitting on a stand and your lowest magnification point is a 3 power, that's gonna take your field of view from, let's say this down to this. What that's gonna cause you to do is you're gonna have to work extra hard on scanning whatever area you're hunting. So you're gonna be having a lot more movement, you're gonna be moving around, you're gonna be holding the gun a lot longer, and you're going to tire yourself out. Whereas if you buy a scope that has a 1 power or a 1.5 power on the low end, your field of view goes from this to this. Now, whereas with a 3.5, I'm sitting here and I'm making a scan like this. With a 1.5, I'm making a scan like this. So I've got a little bit of movement, I'm not wearing myself out, and I can see a broader view in the scope. And then once something comes into the field or comes into the area where you're hunting, then you can reach up on top and you can zoom in to whatever level you need to make an effective kill shot. Another feature that this thing has that I don't really have a lot of experience using, just for the simple fact that I just don't use a GPS. It has a GPS feature in it, and I don't know enough about it to really give a good review on it. Basically what you can do is you can type in coordinates, or you can actually set like a GPS location. So let's say, for example, you guys have this put on your deer rifle, and let's say that you're at a specific tree, and that's where you've got your stand at, and let's say you're hunting a big national forest or something like that where you're walking 2 or 3 miles in. You can save that spot, and apparently once you set that as a destination, it will show you as you're walking through the woods looking through the scope, it'll show you what direction you need to go in to get back to that spot or to get to your destination. It'll show you how to get back to where that tree is. Now what I don't know is if it will show you the actual path that you need to follow, or if it'll just be kind of like an arrow that'll show you. That right there, you guys will have to do a little research on, a little more digging. Just because I don't use this scope for that functionality or for that purpose. So I don't have a lot of experience, and I don't really have a good review of that because I've never had to do it before. Now I do know ATN, they do make some different models with some bigger lenses up front. This is a 25 millimeter front lens, which it's not the smallest, but it's also not the largest that ATN makes. Now obviously the larger the front, the bigger the field of view is that you can see, but also the pricier the product's going to be. The price point on these are phenomenal for what you get in the package. And again, that's my personal opinion on that. Some of you guys might be watching this like, there's absolutely no way I can give $4,000 for a scope. But if it's something that you want and something that you're willing to work for, absolutely, in my opinion, you guys need to go for it, because it changes everything about how you hunt, especially how you predator hunt at night. It just makes everything so much easier, and it gives you a different aspect of being able to watch that animal, because those animals physically, they have no idea that you're there in the woods. So what you're able to do is you're able to actually watch how these coyotes and how these predators react to you calling without them knowing that you're there. Now, whenever you turn on a light or you turn on a big spotlight, something like that, those animals know that there's something else there. Now, whether they pay attention to it or whether they choose to ignore it is a different story. But I believe every animal is going to act a little differently whenever you hit them with a light. They're not going to be as natural. They're not going to be as open to do things in a natural environment, because that's something that's not natural that is in their environment, and they're going to react differently to that. With the thermal, you have the ability to actually watch that animal. You can observe, okay, whenever I make this call, this animal reacts this way. Whenever I stop calling or whenever I turn the volume up or down, he does this or he does that. Right now, the only thing that I've got left is really just to do some cut-in scenes of some of the hunts that I've had this past year. Hopefully it's gonna be pretty cool. Hopefully it'll help you guys out if you're on the brink of trying to figure out if you want to make that investment into a thermal scope. Maybe you've already decided you're going to be buying a thermal scope and you're just trying to narrow it down to see exactly which model you want. I appreciate you guys watching. Definitely keep watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate the feedback that I've been getting from a lot of people too. A lot of people have been putting some positive and some negative criticism on there, which the negatives isn't really bad because it helps you grow and it helps you become a better videographer, better editor, and just makes your videos better. So I do appreciate everything that you guys put on there. If you guys have any questions about the product, comment on there. I try to respond to every single question that I can get to. So just make sure to comment if you got any questions, and I'll try to help you guys out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching Southern Extreme TV, and until next time, stick with me.